Gemma from Concrete Gems, and today I'd like to show you how to do the Tunisian full stitch. Now, if you haven't done Tunisian crochet before, I suggest you go and have a look at my other videos. There's an introductory one which includes the Tunisian simple stitch, as well as a video on the Tunisian knit stitch and the Tunisian pearl stitch. If you do know Tunisian crochet already, then let's get right into it and get started. Don't forget to use a hook that's 2 sizes bigger than the normal recommendation for your yarn. And yeah, that's about it. Let's get down to the table. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the Tunisian full stitch. Now this is a bit more complicated because it is a 2-row repeat. Remember, 1 row is a forward pass and a return pass. So for a 2-row repeat, you're having 2 forward passes and 2 return passes. So anyway, the setup row is the same. So we've got 10 chains on our hooks and then on our hook, and then we're going into the back bump and picking up that loop, yarn over and pull through a loop into each back bump all the way across, and you should end up with the same number of loops on your hook as the number of chains that you started with. So I started with 10 chains, so I should have 10 loops. That's easy maths for you today. 6, 9, 10, and our return pass is chain 1 and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops, 2 loops, 2 loops. Okay, right, so for Tunisian full stitch, we're not working into this vertical bar, we're not working between the 2 bars, we're working into these gaps here. So you go into the gap, yarn over and pull up a loop. Again, make sure it's pulled up so it's not going to be too tight. So into the next gap and all the way across, going into these gaps. Now with Tunisian full stitch, the important thing is to keep the same number of stitches on your hook for each row, and because it switches the placement every row, you need to just keep a track of that. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, and we've got 1 more hole left, so we're going to go into that hole for 10. Okay, and we're not going to work into the chain for this row. And then we're going to do our chain 1, and then we're going to do our yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, all the way back. Okay, so that is our first row. Right, so the second row, the first row we went into this very first space here between the first and the second loops. This time we're not going to go into that space, we're going to skip that and we're going to go into the next space, and then we're going to do the same all the way across, going into the space, picking up a loop and pulling it through. Right, let's see how many we've got. 2, 4, 6, 8. So this is the last hole, 9. We still need another loop. So this round we're going to go into that end chain, okay? And we're going to chain 1, yarn over, pull through 2, all the way back. And that's your 2-row repeat. So you kind of need to remember the first row you're going into that first space, and then the second row you're skipping the first space. So I'll do another 2 rows and then I'll bind off. So we're going into the gaps. I went into the first space this time, and how many have we got? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Last space, and then there is an alternative where you don't go into the last space, you just go into the end stitch, which actually might be better, might make a neater edge. So that's up to you really. I've seen it done both ways. So I'm just doing the return pass on that row. And that was into the first loop, the first space. So this time we're going into the second space. And all the spaces after that. This is another curly one, as you can see. So that should be 9, 3, 6, 9, and then we're going into that end stitch, that last stitch there. Yarn over chain 1, and then pull all the way back. And I can show you the pattern, which I really quite like this pattern. Alternating kind of stitches, looks pretty cool. And I'll just show you the bind off. It's the same as normal. Into the front of that bar, yarn over and pull through both the loops on your hook all the way across. Yes, a properly curly one, this one though. So if you want to practice these stitches, I have a bag pattern that's coming out soon, which I hope you'll like. There we go. That is the Tunisian Full Stitch. Can you see? I think that's quite awesome. Have a go and let me know in the comments what you think.